As has already been said, this meeting marks our annual transition time. We're soon going to close out this fiscal year and say goodbye and thank you not only to our outgoing board members, but also to many of the hundreds of volunteers that work to carry out the bar's mission every day. So I know our staff liaisons will be working on, and I know President Majumdar is working on ways to appreciate and thank everyone for their service. We've also talked a lot about how this year has been full of new challenges. And without discounting how painful some of those challenges have been, I do hope and am feeling hopeful that we can seize the opportunities they present. We have an opportunity to completely reimagine our workplace and make greater use of technology that allows us to work and collaborate from anywhere. I think that more virtual Washington State Bar Association, if done well, can allow us to have a greater presence and engagement around the state and provide our employees with more flexibility. It's also presented the opportunity, this year that is, has also presented the opportunity to really examine our organization's longstanding commitment to equity and justice. I was really happy to hear what a big part of our discussion it was this morning during our retreat. I appreciate the learning that we've done over the last several months, and I also appreciate that it was only just the start. When the executive committee met a few weeks ago, we were asked to present to the board on the Bar Association's equity and justice work. And today you'll be hearing from two members of our equity and justice team, Diana Singleton and Paige Hardy. In addition to the work that you will learn about today, they'll also be working with past President Majumdar, soon to be past president, to develop and plan training for the board in the year to come. I wanted to talk a little bit about the bar exam, which has been a huge, has loomed really large, I think, for the employees at the Bar Association and, of course, for graduates and those who would like to become members of this Bar Association. Although many benefited from diploma privilege, there were also many who had to still take the bar exam. And we successfully completed the so-called summer bar exam this month, with 36 candidates taking the exam in Tacoma and one lonely candidate taking the exam in Spokane. We also finished grading the July exams, and I'm happy to report that 61 people passed. The overall pass rate was quite high. It was 85.9%, and the first-time test taker rate was 93%. Hanada, correct me if I'm wrong, I think those are pretty high rates. And I suspect it has to do in part with the small pool and also with the temporarily lower pass score. Do you want to add anything to that, Hanada?
Yeah, hi, sure. So with the lower pass score, we looked at the numbers, and I think only 6 candidates actually fell into the range of 266 to 269. So I'm not sure, so that's some impact, but not a lot.
And while Hanada's on screen, I also want to take the opportunity to welcome her to the senior leadership team at the Bar Association. Hanada is our new Chief Regulatory Counsel. She replaces Jean McElroy. She's been with the Bar Association for a little over 5 years. She has a lot of experience with the department that she's now leading, and she comes in with a huge amount of support from her colleagues. So I know you're all going to enjoy working with her. Let's see. We are also, so no rest for the weary. Her team is now hard at work planning the February bar exam. That's going to be February 22nd through the 24th. Right now, we're currently planning it in Tacoma. There's some potential that we might also have a component in Spokane, but I think none of that is confirmed yet. The first application deadline is on October 5th. And right now we have about 86 applicants, and 40 of those are folks who transferred from the summer exam. Did I get all that right, Hanada? Okay. One more thing I wanted to highlight from my report. I noted that we've recently published 2 new practice management guides addressing document retention and disaster planning and recovery. I would commend you to take a look at those and consider sharing them with members. Those are the product of a lot of hard work. I think they're incredibly useful and a great free service to our members. So take a look and spread them around. And lastly, I was going to put Sarah on the spot to see, normally at this time of year, we would all be ending the meeting a little early so we could get all dressed up to go to the Apex Awards dinner. And we decided to sunset that event, I think for good reasons, but we're also thinking about, we still want to make sure that we have a really meaningful way to honor our award winners. And so I'm hoping Sarah can give you a little update on that.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. It feels like such an odd September from Septembers in the past. And it was going to feel a little bit different anyway, but I wanted to remind you of the new plan for Apex, and then I wanted to tell you about the new plan for Apex, given what we're able to do this year or not. So we had talked about, a lot of the things that we loved about Apex and a lot of things we thought we could do better. Our plan was really to kind of dovetail and codify the president's reception, to bring those folks there, to make sure the Supreme Court justices were there, that a lot of the people who've just been doing outstanding work, to really celebrate them in that type of a way during the September meeting. And to also make sure that we were going to present the crystals and to show the videos in local ceremonies throughout the state in their communities. And we like that for a lot of the reasons, and I think the winners did too. They could really get their hands around those people there. And also to make sure that we played the videos, looking at some of our objectives for the coming year. Those videos really need to be playing for the public and for in their own local communities. So those were kind of our goals. We were really jazzed up to get the videos done, to go visit people, to schedule for the president's reception. And here we are, not being able to really do any of those things. So my team sat down and actually with a lot of different people in the organization and just said, we don't know when we're going to be able to gather in any significant ways or travel. And we can't let this year go by without acknowledging these winners. So we have kind of nimbly really looked to hire some folks with a lot of background in kind of razzle-dazzle live award shows. We are getting the video. So currently we're filming the videos, and I'll tell you what 2020 looks like taping the video winners. Our videographers are being very careful. We're taping our video winners live. We need to do it outside to make sure we're being very careful. And now we can't go outside either because of the smoke. And so it's kind of, it's one thing after another. But we're very hopeful. We're working on those videos. By November-ish, we would really love to bring them all together into a really fun live with an MC video format where we invite people to come. We invite their supporters to come with some live elements. And so stay tuned as we work out those details. But we're really hoping that we can be kind of as fun and razzle-dazzle as we can possibly be, given the current COVID crisis. So stay tuned for that. And the other thing, I know Tara didn't say that she was going to kick it over to me for this, but I'm just going to take it anyway. I wanted to also let you know, usually, we mentioned this earlier, when you come in, we like to print out the actual surveying quarterly report, and we just got that done. It's actually posted online. But I just wanted to let you know that you're going to see in your inboxes very, very soon. I'm going to send you the Q3 FY20, third quarter FY20 outreach report. I think it's really made a difference, and you will see how tremendously, we put together a response team, and boy, did they respond. And just a phenomenal number of resources and information and free CLEs. And I just think it's pretty amazing that during this pandemic, we got pretty much, we did get straight A's, members reflected A's for high quality standards for the legal profession, high quality CLEs, professional programs and services. So I just think that was really reflective of a lot of the hard work that our members did and that we responded. So look for that coming soon. I really like Alex's recommendation that we can maybe formalize the presentation of the survey. But in the meantime, I'm going to send you what I got.
Thank you. Director Nevitt, do you have more? Otherwise, I think I have some questions for you.
Oh, let's go to questions.
Great, we'll go to Governor Williams-Ruth.
Director Nevitt, just wanted to ask one question regarding the contingency planning. As everyone remembers, it was the Supreme Court that threw a curveball to the Regulatory Services Department, and it was about May. And thinking about the timing, what is the plan for February? I mean, I don't want to have poor regulatory services give up their holidays because all of a sudden there's another order. What is the contingency plan? Is it if we're in the same phase, we're going to do what we did this summer, which, again, I don't think you properly gave enough credit on how amazing the Washington State Bar Association did and has been recognized as a national leader in providing that safe place for our applicants to take their exams. Again, a credit to the entire Regulatory Services Department and the volunteers that made that come together. But I am just curious, and I do understand that there's a potential budgetary element to that, but I'm just curious as to, since COVID doesn't seem to be wanting to go away too quickly, what is the timeline thought process regarding the February bar?
Yes, thank you. And yes, I definitely cannot give quite enough credit. Really, words would fail to give enough credit to Gus Quinones, Hanada, and the whole team and the volunteers that made the bar exam a success. They have an incredibly detailed safety plan that was approved for each exam by the Washington State Health Department. And luckily, both events have gone off without any incidents that we're aware of, certainly no one getting ill that we're aware of. So Hanada is in pretty regular contact with the Chief Justice. We've already begun discussions about questions about whether the court is likely to once again grant diploma privilege if we're in the same situation. And part of that is we're getting lots of questions from applicants who want to know. Before diploma privilege was granted, we had a plan that involved multiple sites, including use of a couple of the law schools. And so I imagine I'll defer to Hanada, but I know that we have contingency plans depending on the number of people that are planning to participate in the exam. And so if we have to go to multiple sites again, that's certainly something that we can plan for. Hanada, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, there are lots of unknowns right now. So we are really trying to run the numbers again October 5th on the deadline and kind of get a better sense for how many people want to sit for the exam and go from there, and perhaps look at, who might be interested in taking it elsewhere and seeing how likely we can make that happen, right? How possible that is. And some concerns with having it in Spokane is, weather conditions, staff having to travel, and budgetary impact, because we really didn't plan for multiple sites for this time around. So lots of unknowns. So I'm hoping in a month or so we'll have a better sense. But we'll go through the same process of seeking approval of our plan again and limiting the room, but it will be hard to find that many rooms if we have a lot of people. So I think that's when we need to break out into different locations.
And one thing that you'll hear during the budget discussion, which I think is this afternoon, there's so many unknowns with so many things. And so the budget also has a lot of assumptions built into it that COVID may completely blow out of the water. I think one of the nice things that we found this year is that on balance, the impact of COVID-19 and the disruption in services was a net gain in terms of finances. So the additional costs that we had for parking and technology and the bar exam and the bar exam ended up saving money because of diploma privilege. But on balance, it ended up being a financial benefit. And we'll talk more about, the uncertainties when we get into the budget. But my expectation is that if COVID impacts us longer than we anticipated, I think we will probably see the same benefit. And certainly, if we see that there's a need for more resources in order to conduct the bar exam safely, we will definitely come back to the board to ask for those resources, because I think we would all agree that safety has to be our number one priority. Any other questions? All right, back to you, President Majumdar.
Thank you.